Hey guys, this is Kyle from Doonamai, and this is episode 1 of Engineer to Indie, the journey of a solo dev. Basically, I want to use this series to explain all the hurdles I've run into while being a solo dev and working on my first game. I know a lot of people out there share a lot of these same problems, and hearing that someone else is struggling with the same things sometimes helps. The first topic I want to cover is the battle of the mind. I think my biggest hurdle in all of my dev experience, or even just getting to work on any of my endeavors at home, is battling my own mind and getting into the mindset of actually doing some work. I know if you're like me, the biggest struggle is just starting. When I get home after a full day of work as an engineer, if I sit down on my rocking chair and turn on Netflix, I'm pretty much done. I will just sit there and binge watch, and I won't get any work done on my game. So it's a real struggle for me to just get home, eat dinner, and then go right to work. And if I actually get started on my game, then I'll get a lot of progress done. So how do you draw the motivation to get to work even though you might be tired from the day, or as soon as you get those creeps of doubt that, oh, I just don't need to work on it today, I can do it tomorrow, or I'll just watch a show and then I'll get to work. You have to have something that'll motivate you to get working on your game right now and not try to push it off to later, because then the psychology kicks in and you'll just keep on pushing it and keep on pushing it, and soon a few days have gone by and you haven't done anything. So let's talk about ways that we can combat that. I like to make a list of my motivations to work on my game, and then use that list, grow it, and then use it to get me out of my chair, to get me at my desk and working. So for example, for me, my motivations are I would like to own a company and work for myself. Everyone out there, most indies are the idea guy, and I'm no exception. I like being the idea guy. The problem is the idea guy can never find people to make a game for him unless he's paying them. So if you're the idea guy and you don't have any money, then guess what? You have to do everything yourself. So the main motivation is own a company, work for myself. So how do I do that? I need to make my first game, sell it, and then hopefully get income that will progress my company. So then I take that, add it to the list. Number 1, work for myself. Number 2, I want to provide for my family more than my normal day job will do. So this is a supplemental income that I want to provide. So that goes on the list and helps me, get motivated to do something. The list is, different for everybody. Everyone has different motivations. But what you want to do is generate these things on a daily basis. If you're at work, if you're out with friends, whatever, what is bothering you and how do you want to change it in your life? Add it to the list. So then once you've got your list of things that will motivate you, take that and post it in places where you are prone to not working. For me, that's on the rocking chair in front of my TV. If I get on that chair, I'm in the comfortable zone and I will just find excuses to not get out of that chair. But if I have my list in front of me, it's a quick reference to be like, what am I not doing in my life right now that I want to be doing? And what is preventing me from getting those things? And in this case, it's me sitting in the rocking chair watching Netflix. So then if I'm staring that in the face while I'm looking at the TV, then it's just one thing in the back of my mind, like, this is the one barrier that's stopping you. This is all you have to defeat. And that might be enough to get me out of the chair and get me working. Like I said, this is all about defeating your mind. You know that you want to be an indie dev or you want to work on games for a living, but the battle is stopping your subconscious, which has fear, doubt, insecurity, and wants to stop you from attaining your goals because it's easier to not attain your goals. There is no rejection, there's no defeat if you just don't do anything. This is all about combating that fear and just creating something. It doesn't matter what happens after that. Just create something and get it out there. Now, since we're talking about insecurities, let's bring up how other indies and other software engineers and all this aren't helping the situation on motivation or creating your own game. A lot of these people have either superiority complexes or inferiority complexes. Both of them, they're almost the same thing, because what happens is these people either work on a game or software or whatever by themselves for a long period of time and then release it, and it looks like it's this gem. Like, they must be a genius to get to this point, when actually it just took them a lot of time and effort to get there, and now they're toting it around like they're some sort of coding god. And you'll see it on a lot of forums, or if you like ask a lot of questions on Facebook, whatever, for coding help, people will criticize your stuff and say, oh, you got to do this kind of syntax, blah, 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 this formatting, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't really matter what the code looks like if it functions and it makes the game and it sells. In the end, what is your goal? The goal is making profit from your game. If you want to make a business out of this, is making profit from the game you make. Guess what? The end user doesn't see the code that goes into the game. They only see the end state, the game, and the user interface, everything that is in front of the player. The back end, nobody sees. So yes, it's good to optimize everything to run on shittier computers, but really, it just matters that you make money in the end. So if you have to take some shortcuts on the code to get there, I don't see why that's an issue. And that's something that we do in the workplace in engineering all the time. We start off with, yes, this is the ideal situation. We would all like to do these great processes to get to the end state. We don't have the time or the money to do that. So where can we cut corners to be able to actually sell something? And that's what I've been doing in my indie game. It's, let's look at, okay, what's the best way to do this? Okay, I don't have time to do that, or I'm still learning the processes as I go. So let's just make the best out of it and try to get to the end state. But you'll see this all over the place. I watched a talk at Google I/O, and they brought up the same thing. I think it was called the myth of the God programmer or something. And they just talked about that, how even at Google, it's apparent that these software engineers hoard information because they want to seem superior, even though they just take a lot of time to do something. It makes them look like they're really good at something because they hide their insecurities. So I'm here to just say, do what you got to do to get the job done. You already have to fight your own mind. You shouldn't have to be taking the criticism from other people who really face the same battles as you, but they just want to make themselves feel good. So that's all I have for today. Please comment below if this was helpful, and I will continue to make more of these videos. I think the next topic I want to cover is achieving your goals and how to train your mind to make consistent progress towards your goals. I have a method that's worked for me, and I'll share that with you guys, and hopefully you can use it. Okay, thank you.